My name is Scott. If you go and Google for Scott, it's me and the toilet paper. The toilet paper. So when you write about this, link my name and say, I saw this guy, Scott. That way Google will move me above the toilet paper people because they do not deserve to be here because they do not understand Unicode. We cannot have that. So get me up there. A couple of quick things that are not MyEcho App related. I have a podcast called This Developer's Life that is a ripoff of This American Life. Ira has called and his lawyers have called, and it's okay. Check it out. I wrote a game called Baby Smash. It's not smashing babies. It's actually for babies. Check that out, Baby Smash. I've got a podcast. It's like Fresh Air. This is another ripoff of NPR. I'm taking over NPR in case you didn't know. Very diverse crowd. Weekly podcast. Does not waste your time. Check it out. I've got lots of really cool stuff online, like really important, hard-hitting, technical journalism that you really have to, you can only come to me for. So check that out. All right, there's Jay-Z and Bill Nye the Science Guy. All right, so MyEcho. I'm going to run this app right here. And this is my iPhone, and this is my Windows machine. And I'm going to hit Add Pairing, and then hit Add Pairing on my phone here. Point it at the QR code. This is the only time a QR code is ever useful or allowed, so just be FYI. So basically, comma, you just talk to your iPhone, and it will appear magically on your Windows machine, period. Basically, comma, the trick is that we're using Siri and speaking like a newsreader and enunciating, period. Using dictation makes all the difference in the world and generally makes the product #awesome, period. So this is up on the App Store now. This is live. And actually, Daniel Wood, give me your iPad. Daniel does not have the application on his iPad, and I just talked to him a minute ago. He's just on the website right now. So he's just visited it in mobile Safari here. I'm going to hit Add Pairing and point. I meant to do that. And I'm going to point at this barcode here. And I'm on the website in mobile Safari. And I can continue to dictate, except now it's going to go directly to an iPhone device that does not have the software installed. So we have servers in Europe, in Chicago, and in Australia. So we will automatically geo-replicate and figure out where the person is. So if they go and they hit our hub, where they are, they get the fastest servers. It works in any language that we can think of that the series supports, and it goes across any network. The only problem I have right now is authenticated proxies. Other things that we could potentially do that we haven't thought of yet are controlling your computer and saying, launch this or launch that. But because the Siri is doing all of the work, it just gets better. Like with iOS 8, it got even better. And we're thinking about whether it could be dictating, we can dictate into any application. Maybe people with disabilities could use this. We've had autistic kids be able to talk to their computers with it. I've got it working in JavaScript. One other thing to point out is the entire application from the cloud, the hubs, the real-time communication, this application on Windows, and the iPhone app and the iPad app were all written in C# using Visual Studio. So that's kind of cool. And it's $2. So we're hoping to take Dragon, naturally speaking, and just destroy them effectively. So there you go. I think it's kind of cool, and you should all buy it because it's $2 freaking. I mean, it should probably be $5. But there's the whole psychological thing about $2, $5, what are you talking about? But hey, it's a $600 pocket supercomputer. You should pay me $2. Yes, sir.
Only for Windows, or why can't you just do it onto a tech stack?
I can do it anywhere. You just saw me. I can do it in Windows. I can do it. So right now, this.
Can you do it onto like tech stack?
So there's Notepad.
I want to talk to Linux.
Yeah, so I just did it with his machine using the browser. So I can dictate it into a browser on a Linux machine. And if I write a native Linux app, I can totally do that. Right now I do it in JavaScript. So I can talk to a text box on Linux today. You just saw me do that. He does not have the app. If you give me an Android device, hit the website, I'll pair with it and then immediately start dictating into that device. So the question is, can she use her Android device to do the talking? So the trick is Siri's, like Apple or not, Siri's dictation is the best. Google is a close second. The next version of this application will be an Android version and then a Windows Phone version. But each of them have to use their respective dictation services. So you will not be using Siri's dictation on your Android. You'll be limited to what Google Now offers. Does that make sense? But yeah, so if you want it on other platforms, I'll make it work. But the technology can work across any device from any other device. In the back. Am I paying licensing fees to Siri? No, because I don't have to. If I have a text box and a keyboard comes up and I push the microphone, I'm dictating into that text box, and there's nothing that Siri can do about it. I don't need to pay them licensing fee. I'm dictating into a text box, and then it appears up there. Great question. And I will not pay licensing fees to Google either, just an FYI. Yes?
Maybe a ridiculous question, but are there any plans to be able to dictate C#?
Could I dictate language to this? Because I am using the public APIs, no. I can only talk to what your phone knows. What your phone knows are the names of people on your phone plus colloquial whatever language you're speaking. So I could say my wife's name, which is a difficult name, because my phone knows it. And I can speak difficult colloquial English because Siri knows it. But I couldn't speak Java because it's not what it's for. But if I can figure out a way to augment any one of those things, whether it be Android or iPhone, I could then market this to legal or medical dictation, and we already have a lot of doctors using it. Yes? I'm sorry? I have no idea what that is, but let's talk about it offline. Cool? Shiny? You're buying this now, right? Yeah, in the back. So this is using an open source technology called SignalR. SignalR starts with WebSockets, falls back to Forever Frame, then falls back to server-sent events, and then falls back to long polling. It doesn't do something so coarse as to go from WebSockets all the way to long polling. It has 4 options, and it goes all the way down. But it's not going WebSockets to here. It's going WebSockets from here to the cloud, the nearest cloud, and then whatever it can do to get to here. So I doubt through their authenticated proxy that we're probably doing server-sent events up to there and down. The point is, I don't need to be on the same wireless. There's no Bluetooth. I can do this LTE to something else. I've even paired them together. Doesn't matter. It goes across any network. Good questions. What's that? Is Big Brother watching? Siri does collect your information, and if you go up to privacy, we have a complete list of what we do. We do not have a database. We are not collecting any of your information. It simply stays in memory and gets thrown away as we pass it on to the next device. Siri, on the other hand, keeps the last 2 years of everything that you said to it. But it's not that big of a deal because it's anonymized to improve Siri. This is not, they don't know Scott said this to his wife. They only know that someone on an iPhone said this word and it wasn't pronounced. You know how on Siri that squiggles underneath words that you get wrong? When you correct it, that's what they want to see. They want to see, oh, they didn't like what we came up with. Siri will underline in a blue underline words it has low confidence in. And then when you replace them, it says, oh, well, it could have been one of these 3 words. Make sense? That's all written up on the app there. So myechoapp.com. Check it out. It's $2.